a 15-degree-per-hour drift.
Shut up, you little bed end.
Enrique, how high is your light? We don't see you, Enrique.
You are made of stupid.
Interesting.
Recently I've had some desperate globe believers cite the privatization of space as somehow proof of the globe. Sorry lads, as you're about to see, the privatization of space, once you scratch beneath the surface, is actually incredibly damning.
Now I hate to say it, but for once Leo is actually right. Once the average man on the street can get up into space and see Earth for himself, it is completely damning. But not for normal people, just flat earthers. Please subscribe. People aren't talking about the privatization of space. People are talking about the privatization of space travel. And what that means is that the average person that can afford to pay the fare will be able to fly into space and see for themselves that the Earth is in fact a globe. So I can completely understand why this may be sending flat earthers into a blind panic. And can you stop saying globe believers? There's no such thing as a globe believer. There are flat earth believers, and then there's everyone else. And by everyone else, I mean people that aren't complete morons. But before we deconstruct Level Earth Observer's argument, a quick word from the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark VPN. Now, if you love traveling like I do, then you love the fastest and easiest VPN available, Surfshark. Not that we can do much traveling at the moment. Did you know that Surfshark also helps you to avoid price discrimination based on your location? So you can actually save money on plane tickets and car rentals while you're traveling. Surfshark runs on any device anywhere and is packed full of features such as industry-leading uncrackable encryption, IP and DNS leak protection, and an internet kill switch if your VPN drops out, as well as 24/7 customer support. By using Surfshark VPN, you can stay anonymous and secure online. I use Surfshark to watch Netflix content from other countries, such as the US, that's usually blocked here in the UK. It's really easy. All I have to do is switch over my location settings and there I have it. Access to all my favorite programs. Surfshark maintains a strict no logs policy, and their network of 3,200 servers in over 65 countries runs completely on RAM, so they couldn't log your data even if they wanted to. And by using my code Creaky, you'll benefit from 83% discount plus 3 extra months for free. And all you have to do is click the link down in the description or visit surfshark.deals/Creaky. If you don't, you'll be as crazy as the conspiracy theorists we laugh at.
We've got several clips to look at. One involves SpaceX and Blue Origin and looking at their routes, which kind of exposes this so-called space race of the private sector. And then after that, we're going to look at a new player on the scene, Astroscale, who supposedly got our best interests and are going to protect us from all the space junk in space.
All the space junk in space? Well, well, well. Where else were you expecting space junk to be?
Again, when we scratch beneath the surface, all we unearth is an awful smell and nothing but a silly charade to get us to believe in absurdities like scientifically impossible globes.
No, I love Level Earth Observer. He's probably one of my favourite flat earthers because I don't make videos about many anymore. But he always bangs on. Actually, let me interrupt myself. I'm a little bit disappointed. This is a Level Earth Observer video and he has not once used the word pantomime yet. Oh yes, he has. Oh no, he has. Sorry, Americans, just Google it. But he always bangs on that the globe is scientifically impossible, but he never offers an explanation of his version of the science that makes a flat Earth possible.
For the record, the flat Earth in the title of all my videos, the flat Earth for me is simply demonstrable reality. Demonstrable reality is simply the scientific demonstrations that have been tested and verified by all, the results of which prove the globe's impossible.
Do they really? Oh no. Do you even know what demonstrable means? Prove it to us then, because if the flat Earth is demonstrably true, then you should have no difficulty in proving to everybody that the Earth is in fact flat.
That's the flat Earth. You want to answer all the questions? We got to fully explore. Very simple.
Fully explore is just something flat earthers say when they know that they have absolutely no way of proving anything they say. As I say, if it's so easily provable, put up or shut up.
Until then, I stand by the things that can be tested and verified by all.
Well, you clearly don't, because if that really was true, then you wouldn't be a flat earther in the first place, would you? And besides that, 2 flat earthers have done their own experiments. You've only got to look at Bob Knob cheese and Jeranism.
A 15 degree per hour drift.
Shut up, you little bed end.
Enrique, how high is your light? We don't see you, Enrique.
You are made of stupid.
Interesting.
That alone proves the globe's impossible, and the space that is cited to us, the performances and the private sector and all that, is nothing but a charade anyway.
What the hell do you mean space is cited to us? What citation do you need for space? You just have to look up.
There are no private companies in space or in the space industry. Blue Origin, SpaceX, just the same pantomime company
I knew we'd say pantomime eventually, you can't resist it.
disguised as little rivals in this new sort of supposed space race. Just the same entity, just one big silly pantomime company. And it's obvious they're actually showing us. I feel they have to, the same with space. It's not mistakes, it's on purpose. I feel they have to show us that it's horse shit of the highest order on some sort of karmic level.
Now, I have said many times that I will not try and make myself look smarter than I am. That I know lots of big words. For example, Llanfair's Pwll Gwynget, Gogerech Windrobl, Llandacilio Goch, and pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicon volcanoconiosis. I just know how to say them. Call me weird. But I do not use big words in the wrong place. Leo, do you know what karmic means? It relates to karma. You know, what goes around comes around. So what the hell is that got to do with whether people have or haven't been to space? And by the way, I realise that karmic isn't a particularly big word. It's just that he's using it in the wrong way. Okay?
9 years ago, SpaceX nearly failed itself out of existence. It's a pretty emotional day, says Elon. Come down here. 9 years ago, SpaceX almost went bankrupt, okay? So in 2008, SpaceX nearly went under. Bear with me. So what saved the private company known as SpaceX in 2008 from going under? That's right, NASA, awarding them a big contract, commercial resupply services. 2008 awarded them a 1.6 billion contract. And of course, they've gone on to do more contracts since.
Hang on a second now, Level Earth Observer. Easy, Tiger. So you're going to completely miss out the part where Elon Musk actually explains why they almost went out of business. It was because they were running out of money. They had a specific budget set out for the SpaceX launches. They had 3 failed launches, which each cost billions of dollars. And then on the 4th launch, they had a successful launch, which is when NASA agreed to work with them. Gonna miss that part out completely? I wonder why. Interesting that you would cherry pick the bits of information that suit you.
But that's what saved the company. But of course, essentially, NASA own SpaceX. They're actually showing you. Without NASA, SpaceX were done. And it's just a front anyway. But I feel this is their way of showing you.
Well, allow me to correct you. That's not strictly true, is it, Leo? NASA do not own SpaceX, and if they do, Elon Musk clearly doesn't know about it. Him and his 78.3% voting power and his 47.4% equity share in the company. And what about the 9,500 employees as of 2021? I wonder if they know that Elon Musk isn't really their boss. Interesting. SpaceX, the privately held satellite and launch services company founded by Elon Musk, is valued at about 100 billion, a hefty sum. But a fraction of what Tesla is worth. Or does NASA own Tesla as well, Leo? You really are an idiot, aren't you? If you're going to make such ridiculous claims, you should really make sure that it's not simple for people to find out that you're completely wrong. Or are you being wrong on purpose? Because it suits your narrative.
Like I said, in 2008, if NASA didn't award this contract, SpaceX were done for. This is their way of showing you. It's all the same. They own it. NASA owns SpaceX. There's nothing private in this space tourism charade, and we're going to dig a bit deeper in a minute. Bear with me.
Oh, I'll most definitely bear with you, Level Earth Observer. And it's very interesting and also very telling that now that we are getting really close to commercial space flight, which means anybody with enough money can go and have a look for themselves, flat earthers like Level Earth Observer are now starting to claim that NASA controls all the private space companies that are out in the marketplace right now. It's almost as if they're having to double down on an already enormous lie, ready for the time when normal everyday people can tell them, yep, I went to space and saw that the Earth was a globe.
So if that wasn't bad enough, NASA essentially, well, making it obvious that they own the company anyway. If they didn't beforehand, then they certainly do now. Without NASA, the company weren't anything, so you might as well say that was a sneaky way of buying the company. So if that wasn't bad enough, when we look at SpaceX's financials, we come down and look at the lead investors. Who's the main lead investor here? The United States Space Force, the US government. So you've got NASA pretty much own the company anyway, but one of the lead investors is the United States government.
Aw, cute. Look, let me explain it to you. A lead investor is an individual who serves as a link between a group of other investors or fundraising companies. Primarily, the lead investor must also be an investor, and they are saddled with the responsibility of representing the interests of the other investors while relating with a company as regards provision of funds. Now, the lead investor is thereby both an investor and an intermediary between the company that needs the fund, in this case SpaceX, and other investors. So no, NASA and the United States Space Force do not own SpaceX. They have just invested in it.
What about Jeff Bezos, the Amazon Superman? What about him? His company's private, surely. Well, let's have a look at the financials. We come down. Lead investors, there's two.
You're just going to say exactly the same thing again, aren't you? Mainly because you haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
Let's have a look. The two lead investors of Blue Origin, the United States Air Force, United States Space Force, and NASA. They are telling you it's all a big, silly pantomime.
So is there any point to your video at all, Leo, or are you just going to sit there and snigger to yourself as if you've won the best prize in the carnival, even though all you're actually doing is demonstrating just how poor your understanding is of how any of this sort of thing works?
A collection of tricks to get you to believe in absurdities.
But you're a flat earther. Absurdities are exactly what you believe in.
And that's why I laugh when I see all this propaganda regarding the rivalry. Elon Musk, Blue Origin, head to head. Elon Musk on Blue Origin suing NASA. You can't sue your way out of the moon. Why are Blue Origin suing NASA when NASA are their one of their main funders? It's all a silly joke. Clearly, NASA are funding Blue Origin. We've just seen that. And yet Blue Origin is supposedly suing NASA. Can you see how ridiculous it all is?
Oh yeah, really silly, because nobody involved in a business has ever sued anyone else involved in that same business, have they?
So if that wasn't bad enough, check this out from Astroscale. This is how desperate they've got here now. The latest bit of the pantomime as regards space. We've now supposedly got private companies now getting involved, putting in tenders to clean up space, get rid of the junk problem. In this instance, Astroscale. We're at their website. They are fresh off the back of their first ever simulated capture in space just a few months ago, which is strange. We'll have a look at that in a minute, by the way. Which is strange because when we scroll down here they are, the team, all those wages, head office, computers, designers, must be pretty expensive. But strange, they were founded in 2013. So they've been going 8 years. All those wages, all that cost, designs, headquarters, rent, everything like that chucked in. They've been going 8 years, but they've only just now done a simulated capture in space just a couple of months ago.
So what do you think then, Leo? You think the clearing rubbish in space is the same as it is here on Earth? Anybody with a couple of quid who can afford to buy a transit tipper can set themselves up to do space rubbish clearances? Of course it's taken them 8 or nearly nearer 9 years now, because space is dangerous. You can't just nip up there, pick up a few bin liners and throw them in the back of your truck.
So who's been funding this charade for 8 years, I wonder?
Let me guess, is it NASA?
It's just obvious based on that alone. No offence, lads. If you've been going 8 years, I would have expected at least 6 years of history of you capturing space debris. Not 8 years of wages, stories, claims, CGI, and you still haven't even done a real capture, just a simulated one. Who in their right mind would fund that charade? Oh, that's right. I'm sure if we dug a little bit deeper into the roots of this company, it would be quite obvious. I'm not going to go there today.
Well, lucky us, dodged a bullet there, haven't we? There's actually a lot more to this video, but I'm getting a little bit concerned because my vision's gone blurry and I can smell burnt toast. And I think it's Leo's fault. Thank you very much indeed to Surfshark for sponsoring another video. It is thoroughly appreciated the way a company as big as Surfshark chooses to support creators as small as me. Well, not that small. And I'm sure there will be some of you down in the comment section that hate the fact that I'm sponsored. I just can't help it. I'm just so selfish that I expect to be paid for what I do for a living. But if you're not one of those people, click on the link below or visit surfshark.deals/Creaky to get 83% off Surfshark. I use it every day. It's worth every penny and it ain't that expensive. Take care, everyone. Love you. Bye.
Alright, watch this next. But before you do, make sure you subscribe by order of the Creaky Blinder.